despite being pulled from his matchup with UFC flyweight champion Demetrious Johnson earlier this month at UFC 215. Top contender Borg will still have an opportunity to overthrow Mighty Mouse at UFC 216 on October 7. Live on pay-per-view PPV from inside T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. While Borg's dismissal from UFC 215's main event stemmed from an illness, the 24-year-old fighter made changes leading up to UFC 216 to aid his efforts in successfully making it to the fight, which included getting rid of his nutritionist. "I never had a problem making weight to begin with," Borg said during UFC 216's media conference call earlier this week. "I tried to add on a nutritionist to help me out because I was getting a little older and the weight was getting tougher to cut. But I just went back to doing the same SHT that got me to the show." Related angry Borg lashes out at douchebags for UFC 215 exit. Borg said his decision to let go of his nutritionist was a lot more in-depth than people know and opted not to discuss the intricacies of the situation at this moment. Even without a nutritionist helping him properly diet for his drop down to 125 pounds, the tough Mexican devil believes he can get past 2 previous failed weight cuts and do what he needs to do in order to continue to compete at flyweight. "I can't say for the future, but for right now, it doesn't make sense to move up a division," Borg said when asked about moving up to 135 pounds. "Because most bantamweights walk around at 155 and above. Me not trying to cut weight and just getting in shape, my body just gets down to 136, 137 easy. And that's pretty small for a bantamweight, so, yeah, it makes sense for me to stay." Few fighters get a second chance to fight for UFC gold after failing to show up the first time around, but the flyweight division's lack of depth ultimately helped Borg's ability to reschedule with Johnson. After all, one can only do so much to avoid sickness, especially if they're surrounded by it. Related Johnson waiting on UFC 215 payday, "That may not come. Sometimes you can't put off the inevitable," Borg said of his UFC 215 fallout. "Everyone at my camp was sick. My wife was sick. I was just banking on not catching it, but it happened. There's not a whole lot you can do. I've been taking my proper vitamins and taking care of myself." Assuming nothing goes awry leading up to UFC 216, the underrated Borg will have the opportunity to stop Johnson from breaking Anderson Silva's UFC record for most title defenses and retaining his belt for a staggering 11th time. That is enough incentive to make it to the octagon on October 7, so hopefully Borg can stay healthy and make the walk. UFC 216 will be headlined by an interim lightweight title fight pitting divisional staple Tony Ferguson against rising youngster Kevin Lee.